No, put that back. No, it doesn't belong. I had it. Put it back.
That's where I want it.
I'm sorry. I bought it
Mm.
and I want it there. You always do stuff like this to make me sound like a bitch. Hello, everyone. I'm Jade,
And I'm like,
and this is Jaded Mayhem, podcast of all mayhem and birds. Why'd you look up there?
I was seeing if on the logo it said all mayhem. It doesn't. It says true crime and mystery.
I don't think that's why you looked at it, but
It
okay.
is. I don't think this is a time for rebranding.
You're such an asshole. What did you have, Jack? What is it? You said were you saying that to be funny?
Yes.
It's not. What is it?
Traveler.
I don't know what that is.
I'll give you one guess whose whiskey it is.
Oh, Chris Stapleton?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. How much was it
$4. It's
for a
just a
shot?
little airplane bottle. Yeah. That's all I buy at a time now.
The story I gave you. Well, we chose this because Bella suggested, because I said I'd like to do something besides true crime. So Bella said an alien story.
Mm,
The one I came up with, heard of it?
I have.
Okay. You were stationed at Fort Campbell and you lived in multiple sections,
Mhm.
areas. Did you live in Hopkinsville?
I did.
Okay. So was it this thing, is it big and popular there?
No. Most
Really?
people don't even know about it. Yeah.
That's weird and crazy. The encounter I'm talking about is Kelly Hopkinsville encounter. Do people fuck that name up all the time?
Only you.
Okay. It's also known as Hopkinsville Goblins case,
Hmm.
rarely a Kelly Greenman case.
Yeah. So Kelly's just like a little community outside of Hopkinsville. Hopkinsville is the city.
But Kelly is it, if you were to put your address down, it would still be,
Hopkinsville. Yeah.
huh.
Well, I don't know. Kelly might be on its own.
Hopkinsville has a festival every year. Did they do that when you were there?
No, if they did, it wasn't really broadcasted or advertised.
Really? Because when I read about it, it seems like it's a big thing. It's called Goblin Con.
Mm.
And it has like 70 vendors. I would love to go, but I know we're never going to.
Hmm.
When you think, excuse me, hold on. When you think of an alien, first off, we've discussed this. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
If you were to think about an alien, what do you think they would look like?
Not what this story depicted them as.
Mm.
Little 3 to 5 foot tall green people with their arms extremely long. I would have pictured them as giants.
Aliens as giants.
I mean, not like 30 feet
Mm.
tall giants. I mean, like 8, 9 feet tall giants. Because you know my theory.
Phenom.
Yes. I would say those casted down angels, they were a lot larger.
Mm.
I think that's what it was.
Okay, that's for another
Yeah.
time. But you don't. Do you think they exist today?
Hmm.
Where?
Antarctica.
You don't. You think that's the only kind? If there are aliens,
No, I think there's a whole network of tunnels underneath the United States that connects them, and they
I.
have their own animals.
You don't think it's the child trafficking tunnels? It's alien tunnels.
Oh, I like, for example, Bigfoot.
Hmm.
I think Bigfoot's a ancient civilization like animal,
Mm-hmm.
and it travels the tunnels. That's why it can be seen the same animal in different parts of the world because it's all in the network of caverns and caves through the Earth's hollow core.
That sounds a little cuckoo to me. I would almost think that if there's Bigfoot and then the Yeti, it's just like how people migrated, and that's where they stayed, and that's where they stayed, and that's what they are. But I believe there's aliens in the ocean, Antarctica, and space still. We talked about it. You said you believe they're among us, looking like us too.
Hmm.
Okay, well, moving on. This is that a kid? Was it our kid? Is
Sounds
it
like it.
Bella singing?
I think it was Justin getting beat in soccer.
Oh my goodness. This encounter, I have, for some reason, I'm gonna have to clear my throat a lot, and I have to apologize for that. This encounter is where people refer to aliens as the little green men. Are you making sure it's recording?
I am.
Is it recording?
It is.
You know how people reference aliens as green?
Mhm.
It's because of this story.
This story inspired a lot of things.
It did. One of my favorite things.
It did inspire me.
Oh my goodness. The encounter happened August 21st,
That's a new number?
August 21st, 1955. 11 to 12 people, depends on who you talk to, rushed to the local police station described as frantic,
Mhm.
scared, terrified, or excited.
Yeah, I like that it was 1955 and the Hopkinsville police station, the cop on duty called his chief, and his chief said, "Call the military, call the state troopers."
We're getting there.
Yeah, well, that's what he did.
Yeah. What happened that night? Did I send you? Okay, anyway. Well,
Mhm,
okay, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Like a lot of this is depending on who you're talking to. So
mhm.
7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Billy Ray Taylor, family friend, he went to the well to get water in the backyard. He saw a bright silvery object with an exhaust of rainbow colors. Went over the house, stopped, then dropped it to the ground. You saw the picture, figure
Mhm.
14? That is what was drawn based on his description. But the family did not believe him. They just blew him off. But an hour later, Billy Ray and Lucky Sutton saw a small humanoid creature. It was about 2 to 3.5 inches. They grabbed their guns, 20
It was
gauge,
about what?
2, 2, 2 feet. Jesus.
You said mini little mini goblins coming after you.
No, the rest of this that would be an sorry, 2 to 3.5 feet, depending on who. But they grabbed their guns, 20 gauge shotgun and .22 rifle. Is that how you say that?
Not point, you just said 22.
Well, it has a period before
Mhm.
it. Okay. I feel like that's something your family would do. Do you not? Would you do that? Yeah. Oh, all your, I could foresee it like as you and your friends. Yeah. Even now. Don't give you alcohol. Moving on. When they shot at the creatures, it raises hands like, what is that? Like if a police is holding a gun at you. What is it called?
"Freeze! Put your hands
Oh,
up."
yeah, like they're being told I don't know, freak. There was another word.
Yeah.
They held their hands up, did a backflip, and then ran. And a little while later, another one in the window. They shot through the window screen, same thing, flipped, then disappeared. Why are you smiling? It's almost like you're reminiscing on the event, like you were there. The men lay on the ground and they watch it come to the door. It looked like a 5 gasoline tank, gallon. What do you call that? Tank? Or just a 5 gasoline,
I don't
5
know what you're
gallon,
trying to say.
5-gallon gasoline. You know the jug? Is it a jug?
Yeah.
Is that
Ga
what you call it?
a gas can?
I don't know. It didn't say.
Yeah, 5-gallon gas can.
Okay, a 5-gallon gas can with a
Mhm.
head, small legs, shining bright metal like a refrigerator. A lot of the description I got from history.com, but I also got a bunch of different, it's a blend from newspapers, a clip of video, someone else's article. But they said no gender. The ears were further back than humans. The top of the ear is above the head. Eyes, yellow pupil, white rim. They were glowing and they were 6 inches apart from each other.
Stitch.
That's funny because I put that later. I'll tell you when I put it. It does.
They're describing a different colored Stitch.
Mm-hmm. But this one, they weren't sure if it had a mouth. It just had a line.
Mm.
So they weren't sure. But the neck was straight onto the shoulder. I cannot talk. The neck was straight onto the shoulders. Fuck. The head was straight onto the shoulders. So there's no neck.
So he couldn't fold towels.
No. His body, the picture I sent you,
Mhm,
do you remember? It did look like a stitch. It looked a weird, like a muscular stitch, did it not?
mhm.
That's why I put in my notes. I thought that was really funny. Everyone describes this encounter as like the most detailed in history. So when I asked ChatGPT to give me a story that wasn't commonly covered, because that's what we talked about, it gave me this. But in the paranormal UFO world, this is the number one story because of how many people give the same detailed information, like the amount of people,
Mhm.
and it's just all the same. It's the most detailed encounter. The words to describe the event, it went on for several hours. And if anyone didn't guess it, it happened on farmland in what you would call a hamlet in Kelly. So I'm assuming Kelly was considered a hamlet then. Like you were saying, section of it's considered Hopkinsville.
I've never heard of a hamlet.
It's smaller than a town or village. I don't know. That's what because Nashville is the same. They got their little divided
Mhm.
sections. In this home, they had no running water, no telephone, no radio, no TV, and no books.
No books.
When we talk about the creature's body, it had muscles above the waist, but thin legs. They were stick-like and hands oversized. Makes me think, I don't know. No one can see me what I'm
Mm.
doing, but hands oversized, 2 to 3 inches long, webbed fingers, and no description of the feet. I do want to mention I'm going to try and put these images in social media. I can on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll figure out how to put it in TikTok. Okay, figure 11. Do you remember what that was? Which one was it?
I don't know, but I remember all the figures.
Okay, I'll show you a glimpse of the image I'm talking about. It has the 4 different versions of what
Mhm.
they look like. What does each image look like to you? Like, does it make you think of anything?
Mhm.
What does it make you think of?
If you take the ears to normal,
Which one?
all of them, it looks like ET.
I can see that in 2 of them, the 2
Mm.
bottom one. When I was looking at it, it made me a couple of them, like well, actually, all of them, Marvel or superheroes. This made me think of, um, Flash. This made me think of Ant-Man. This one isn't there like a aqua kinda man that looks like a amphibian? Is there a what is it? What is it? I don't
Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
no, there's like a green one. Isn't there? Like a better I don't
And,
do you know what I'm talking about?
that's, DC.
Okay, well, that's the same
Yeah.
thing to me.
Mhm.
Sorry, Marvel fans.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what
Mhm.
makes me think of I thought maybe some of them were drawn based off those superheroes, what they saw. Flash was I didn't look up the others, Flash and Ant-Man. So Flash was created in 1940, so maybe. But Ant-Man wasn't created to 1962. Stan Lee, is that his name?
Mhm.
Stanley what? Is it Stan Lee? Okay. Him and 2 other guys created Ant-Man based off of 1950s science fiction and pulp adventure. So that could have come from this whole thing.
Mhm.
We're going to go back to the night. Billy Ray had his hair touched and pulled by a small claw-like hand, and History.com says the group screamed and pulled him back in. The green man floated to the ground and ran to the woods. Everyone hurdles up together in the like I imagine in the middle of the floor in the house, holding shotguns, looking at the ceiling, listening for more sounds, hearing scratches on the roof.
So if you watch the interview that the, granddaughter gave,
Mhm.
she said he went outside to look for a body or something because they shot it, and that's whenever it happened. As soon as he stepped out, it was on the roof, and it reached down and grabbed
Mm.
him, and grandma grabbed him and pulled him back in really
Mm.
fast.
Okay. I think I remember that part. So here was the thing. She says that. I'm sure her story probably is more accurate than History.com. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. There's different versions.
Mhm.
Her version could be true.
Well, and nobody believed the 2 at the beginning when they were doing the shooting and everything.
No one believed him at first.
Well, it was Billy Ray and what's the other guy's name?
Lucky.
Lucky?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just them 2 doing the shooting, and everybody else is like, "What is going on?" They were known to be jokesters, and they thought
Uh,
they were, like, goofing off until they seen it was serious, and they actually started shooting, and it was like, "Oh, man, what's going on?" But nobody else had seen it at that time, and then they started seeing it, except for grandma. Grandma didn't see anything. She was with the kids.
mm.
Are you gonna cover it later?
With the kids?
No, grandma, when she seen them.
No?
So later, after they went and done the police report,
Wait. Are you talking about the next day? Don't talk about the next day.
I don't know if it was the next day. I thought it was later that night.
No, no. I'm not talking about encounters with the creatures. Are
Okay.
you talking about encounters with the creature?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after they'd went and did all the police report, all that good stuff, they went back to the little house and she'd put the kids in bed and she was in there with them. And the grandpa, or whatever, was in the rocking chair with a shotgun across his lap, protecting the family. Um, and she woke up seeing him in the window, the
Mm,
little creature.
mhm.
And all she said, what she woke him up and said, "They're back." And that's whenever she'd finally seen him for the first time, and
Mm,
now she was a believer.
that's so creepy. Well, at this point, they decided they're gonna book it out of there, and it was described as top speed to the police station. And they arrived around 11 PM, and the police actually believed that something did happen, not necessarily aliens, but that something did happen because the
Mhm.
family showed up, like, really shaken up. And like you said, the police called I I didn't put the chief down, but yeah, he called that one guy called the chief, and then he's like, "Call another local police, the state police, the military police." And, they also called a reporter, which I find kind of funny.
Yeah, they're
Why?
gonna that's their time to shine.
Yeah. Why the military police? Why would they call the military police? Is there not just extra protection? I don't what are the MPs gonna do?
They don't know. This was 70 years ago. You know what I mean? It's
True.
just like, "Call the military. It's in tanks."
When the police go to the house to investigate, the family is not there. There are no creatures found. Evidence they did find was the shotgun casings and the hole in the window screen, but nothing else. No evidence that little green men were ever there. There were speculations maybe they had been drinking because the
Mhm,
kind of stories they were given. There's no evidence that anyone was drinking. Police end up leaving, the family come back, and at 2:30 AM is when everything started again, up until daybreak. From other sources, it says once the morning came, the family booked it out of there. I don't know how long they stayed gone because clearly
mhm,
it wasn't forever. That same next day, the newspapers and radio stations were all running the story. People started to show up at the farm and they didn't stop and continued for days. Miss Sutton actually asked the police to help push people further along because they were doing this all the way up until 11 o'clock at night. But then eventually, someone just gave in and started to charge visitors. So it took her no trespassing sign down. She charged 50 cents to enter grounds, a dollar for info, $10 for pictures. And then that's when they started looking a little money hungry to the skeptics.
mm. Well, and the police chalked it up to either what'd they say it was? The hoot owls?
Yes. That same next day, the police went back. I'm assuming because it's daylight, they want to make sure that they can cover everything. They were looking for landing of the saucer, footprints, blood trails, and scratch marks on the roof. Nothing was found. Bud Ledwith, I love all these names because you don't hear it anymore.
Mhm.
Bud, Lucky,
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray. I'm sure some people still name their kids Billy Ray. But now my mind's trying to blend it together. Bud Ledwith from local radio station. He interviewed the adults and drew images based on their descriptions. And he, like many, was very impressed with the constant, extensive details that was same with everyone, and no one was around each other, like
Mhm,
to pass on the info or hear. An article from that day, 22 August 1955, the next day after the incident, it reported that Billy Ray Taylor had made a similar report in Pennsylvania. That is the only time that is mentioned. I read another article. I read the, history.com. Nashville Scene author wrote his personal thing. The videos I sent you, no one else has ever said this. I had theories about it. Either is they wanted not to repeat so they could keep this story alive, or the newspaper was trying to stir up something.
yeah, it wasn't true.
It wasn't?
No, or it wasn't true,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
like you said, tabloids at the time.
Because I feel like if someone had seen that and heard that, they would have gone, well, this is a hoax.
Well, the way I see it is this is 1955. The event happened on the 21st, right? That paper article was ran on the 22nd.
Mm
We're talking less than 24 hours. How did they research a story that what there's no internet, from Pennsylvania
hmm. Mm
and get it printed in time?
hmm. Mm hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. There's another article 2 days after the event that reported that the Air Force denied any official investigation. And I think the Air Force was asked this because there is an Air Force UFO investigation program. I don't know if that still exists.
Mhm.
It does? Well, they had a book called Project Blue Book. Have you heard of that?
I've not.
It sounded familiar. I think I've heard of it, I just didn't know about it. It's a The program was a systematic program in the Air Force to investigate UFO sightings from 1952 to 1969. Oh, so the program doesn't exist unless it's
That's the
something new.
stuff that they're releasing now.
Oh. What its goals was to determine if anything posed a national security threat. There are some people that believe the military could have come in during that time frame when the family left, cleaned out any evidence. And the reason why I say this, the author from the Nashville scene said it was impossible in the time frame for the military police to show up at the farm from the base in the timeline that was given unless they were already in the area. Do you think that's true? Like if they call up and call the MPs, and I think 4 of them were the ones that showed up. "Hey, we need your help. Come here." So from the time the Suttons show up to the police station, they make the call, the family and police go back to the house, and the MPs are there as well, unless they were already in the area.
I don't think it's subjective.
I think it was just trying to imply maybe a little what, like,
Mhm.
what would you call that word? I don't know. Secrecy. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Just like, well, if the military were in the area, then something must have happened and they already knew. That's what I'm thinking. Here are the skeptics' theories, points of views. Like you said earlier, they believe goblins could have been misidentified owls, which were the great horned
Oh,
owl.
yeah, the great horned owl, and it was just because they're territorial.
Well, the eyes, they have reflective yellow eyes,
Mhm.
large wings, silent movement, perched in trees on roofs, the aggressive territorial behavior. A metallic shine could be a moon reflecting off of it. I feel like that's a reach.
Well, and their ears are higher than their head like
Yes.
horns too,
And a little bit, yeah.
and that would make sense why she's seen it in the windowsill and said they're back,
Some believe the owls were just curious too. Possible meteor sightings.
and that's why they see no legs.
Oh yeah. Well, they did. They were stick-like. Mass panic, exhaustion, could have alcohol. uh, Maybe alcohol was involved. They just didn't
Mm.
find it. And exaggerated storytelling after media attention.
Yeah, nobody's gonna find their moonshine still.
um, Going back to the meteor sightings, it started with the P. I think I forgot. I might have put it in later, and I'll say it if I did. I looked up, was there meteor sightings that night? And there was. And it's called something with the P. And then it said, it referenced, like, a lot of people believe this is tied in with this or whatever, but it was like Google's AI. Hopefully, I put it in here. If not, it might be pulled up on the computer. Normal enthusiasts believe it's true because too many witnesses, police confirmed their fear and gunfire. I don't know how confirming gunfire counts. Creatures did not behave like animals. Bullets made metallic sounds when striking them, and some described as floating rather than walking. I don't I didn't know owls walked, but floating would be flying and then. Here are some more reasons it's possibly true. Before the sightings, the dogs ran under the porch, scratching on the roof, that still could be owls. Glowing eyes in the window, still could be owls. Creatures floating backwards into darkness, families shooting constantly and nothing dying. Some paranormal researchers believe extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, goblin, fey entities. There is a ufologist, words are hard.
UFologist?
Ufologist, how do you say it?
I don't know.
Ufologist?
I've never heard it.
Well, someone who listens to this and is one, they're going to correct me on how to say it. Ufologist. It's the people who investigate like UFOs. The study, okay, if you break down the words in the
Mhm,
Latin word, ology is the study of,
mhm,
ologist is the like cardiologist,
mhm,
the expert.
mhm.
So it's an UFO expert basically.
Yeah, wonder where they got their degree.
Um,
I want a degree in ufology.
well, it doesn't say she had a degree, but she investigated the encounter.
That's it. I'm a ufologist.
You know, I think you can call yourself that if you're researching it. I don't think there's a degree.
Mhm. Doctor,
Someone's going to get offended. Why are you looking at me like that?
because you didn't address me as doctor.
Okay, moving on. She investigated the encounter and she wrote a book, and it wasn't published till decades later by Center for the UFO. Center for the UFO Studies. And Dr. J. Allen Hynek is the founder. He was Project Blue Book's civilian investigator. The book includes maps, drawings, documentary records, summaries of similar accounts around the world, interviews from family police. I guess I should have looked that up. Oh, yeah. The meteor that night, it was called multiple Perseids. Perseids. I think I copied and pasted this. It says streaking across the sky. It occurs annually in August, and NASA notes that fireballs and bright meteors are highly common during this peak time. And really, that's all I have. I mean, I have more to say, but that's all I have for like. I didn't think I was gonna have enough. This is a short one. I thought it was gonna be a little longer than that. But do you believe the Sutton family, or do you think it's a crock of shit?
I don't know if that event took place. I mean, I do believe in aliens, and the U.S. government is actively reverse engineering alien technology right now. I do believe all of it. But there's always signs, especially in the 50s. Something's always left behind.
Are you okay? I'm confused. Does that mean you kind of believe it, or
I
you
don't
don't?
believe it because there would have been,
Oh, okay. Now I get what
yeah,
you're saying.
there would have been a landing area, bent grass, scorched
Hmm.
grass.
Like the crop fields.
Yeah, if they were shot, there'd be disturbance in the mulch. There would be
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
on that side, not just the bullets, casings, and the hole in the screen.
Part of me thinks there probably was some drinking, and they didn't want anyone to know. With them not having any entertainment, and then seeing the meteor shower, they probably just
Mhm,
started talking and started spooking each other. And then they see these things with glowing, yellow eyes, and now everyone's freaking out. And if you talk about it more and more, there could be a hysteria
mm.
phenomenon. Is that what you say?
I don't think it applies there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So because they were poor, I think they were taking this opportunity. I don't know. At first, I don't think it was for money, but then they realized what happened and then they took it as money. I do feel like they were actually scared and they
Mhm.
spooked themselves.
I just don't understand 1955. They had a car to get to the police station, but they didn't have a book. No books in a house.
Well, they were referenced as rednecks, and rednecks are considered poor and uneducated people. So I would think, why would they have a
They at
book?
least have a Bible.
I don't know if
A
I'd want to
whole
say.
house with no books. There was kids. Kids went to school.
Are you sure they went to school?
I think there was a typo in that article. There is not one house in America without a book.
I don't think that was from a 1955 article. I think it was from history.com.
Oh, they got their history wrong. There was a book in that house.
Uh, I still think they spooked themselves out.
Mm,
I was going to ask you because they were referenced as rednecks a lot. What's the difference between a redneck and a hillbilly? And it's not a joke with a pun.
I believe the term redneck is from working outside. That's how they get their term redneck, right? Because the back of their neck from the sun.
Mhm.
Hillbillies are from the hills, like the Appalachians and
Mhm.
stuff like that. I would
Mhm.
say that is the difference.
Mostly right. I looked it up because you know how you would. I don't know. We argue about some things, and you say redneck, and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm hillbilly.
yeah. Rednecks have running water.
True. It's saying okay, it was saying rednecks is geographical and so is hillbilly. So
Mhm.
hillbilly, yes, the appellation, but it's also like wooded country kind of stuff. And the redneck part is more western, southern, and flat land because of, working outside, whatever. Redneck. Yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else. That was short and I don't know if there's really a whole lot you can when talking about paranormal. We'll have to I'm not gonna put all this in there.
Oh, I can.
With this, you could have said more with this. There wasn't more to go from.
I would have jumped on the government.
That would be taking it in a different direction and not in this in direction.
Mhm.
That's not where this was going.
My direction led to the interstate. Yours went to a dead end.
That is so mean. We're talking about this. If you
Mhm.
brought up the military, just like we did.
Not military, government. Like I tried sending it to you, like reverse engineering technology right now.
Yeah. Okay.
You want Taco Bell?
You want Taco Bell? No, I think he's saying you want chocolate milk. That's what I hear. I know everyone else says Taco Bell. I hear chocolate milk. Maybe because I like chocolate
Mhm.
milk. But we have social media. I'm working on it. I gotta spruce it up. The images will be on Facebook, Instagram. I will try TikTok. We have a website, jadedmayhem.com. We have email, the jury at jadedmayhem.com. You can send any stories or suggestions. We have to figure out how to
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
we have to figure out how to attach that to the website so it's easy for people to click it. And soon we're going to be offering a giveaway or what the criteria is to get to the giveaway. But that's all, folks. Peace out, homies. See you on the flip side.
Bye.